Hello everyone, we are from Group 5 from Practical Database Fundamental Group 11, and today we are going to present our final project. But before that, I want to introduce my teammates here. Here we have Abdurrahman, Golden, and Lee Mei and me as the team leader. Okay, so without any further ado, let us just get started. Okay, so we all decided to choose the research conference paper topic because we all agree that we are more familiar with this topic. And our goal for this project is to save time, effort, and workload. Compared to manual grading system, it is easier for us to use the SQL script and command because everything can be done in a split of seconds, and it can also improve the accuracy by minimizing human error here. And lastly, it can provide a clear insight for the data summary. Okay, so that's it for the introduction part. And next one is about case scenario will be discussed by Abdur.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Abdurrahman, and today I will be explaining our case scenario, and business rules. So, our case scenario focuses on Research Hub, conference management, and review system, a digital platform built to handle the heavy workload of academic conferences. So, nowadays, managing hundreds of papers and reviewers is too hard to do by hand. So, our system kind of uses 10 connected tables, interconnected tables to organize every single thing. And we support authors from the 6 different countries, like from Malaysia, etc. And it keeps 8 specific research tracks to keep things organized. Every paper gets unique ID starting with T, and every tags get starts with T. So it's easy to differentiate, and it easy to find track type, subtract, and DOIs without any confusion. Okay. Okay, so to keep our database clean, we have set strict rules. For example, all authors should names should start with uppercase, and every author must be linked to a registered institution. This keeps the data consistent for the final program. Our system handles different types of files such as Word and PDF, and tracks if they're submitted or pending. So yeah, a great feature of our case scenario research hub uh, is how it handles teamwork. We currently have 15 submissions for 8 unique papers, which proves the system can successfully manage several authors working together for like one project or doubling the data. Yeah. So next is the review process, which ensures the research is high quality. Every reviewer has a unique ID starting with R, so we can match them to the right papers. We built a smart rule into the system. You cannot set a deadline that is earlier than the day paper. So it ensures the results are fair. And some papers like different like paper P001 are set to multiple reviewers. They give a score from 0 to 10 and leave helpful comments. So this feedbacks help them to improve and be better. So we are finally on to the business rules. So there are 8 different rules. I'll say each one by one. So first rule: an author belongs to only one institution, but an institution can have many authors. And second one: an author can write multiple papers, and a paper can be written by multiple authors. Third one: each paper is associated only one research track, but a research track can have multiple papers. And the fourth one: each author submits each paper only once, and each submission contains exactly only one paper. Okay. A paper can be reviewed by multiple authors or reviewers, and a reviewer can review multiple papers. Yes. And the seventh one: each paper can have only one decision, and each paper refers to only one paper. Yeah. And the last and final: a reviewer belongs to only one institution, while an institution can have multiple reviewers. Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Hi, I'm Golden. I'm going to explain our database design using the ERD and the constraints. This system is built to manage a conference workflow from paper submission all the way to the final decision. So for a clearer image, let's go to the next page. I will start with the ERD. At the center of the system is the paper table. Everything evolves around it. Each paper belongs to a track which represents the conference category. authors submit paper through the submission table. This is also linked to file table, which store the uploaded documents. Both authors and reviewers are connected to the institution table. This allows us to track where each participant comes from. Reviewers are linked to papers in two ways. First, through the assignment table, which shows which reviewer is assigned to which paper and the review deadline. Second, through the review table, where reviewers give comments, scores, and recommendation. Finally, the decision table stores the final outcome for each paper, either accepted or rejected. Each paper can only have one final decision, right? So now move on to the constraint. So as you can see, every table use a primary key, such as author ID, paper ID, track ID, and many more. This ensures that each record is unique and easy to identify. Okay, next, we use not now constraint for important fields like names, emails, paper titles, and IDs to prevent missing and incomplete data. Okay, for authors and reviewers, email address must be unique and follow a basic email format. From the slide, you can see there is a format, and the purpose of using this format is to avoid duplicate accounts and ensure valid contact information. Next, we using uppercase to keep the data consistent and clean. So basically is for names. And lastly, foreign key constraint. This constraint connect all the related tables. They ensure that authors and reviewers belong to valid institution submission reference, real paper and files. Reviews come from registered reviewers and each paper receive only one valid final decision. Okay, to conclude all, the ERD show how all parts of the system are connected while the constraint ensure data accuracy and consistency. Together, they help the system run smoothly and reliable. Okay, that's all for me. Thank you.
Wishing you a good day, Dr. Arya. My name is Limayan, and today I will be presenting the SQL script demonstration of our system, followed by the overall conclusion of the database. Firstly, our team selected the research conference paper submission and review system as the focus of our database design. At the very beginning of the SQL script, we dropped all the existing table in the database. This ensures that whenever modifications are made, any old or conflicting data is completely removed before the new structure is created. Next, we create each table in the system and define the necessary key constraint. This includes identifying primary key, specifying data type, enforcing not null condition, and check the constraint, and defining foreign key relationship that reference other table. So for example, for the author table, the email attribute is unique, not null, and we set it to check whether the email is following the actual format of the email, where it contains both @ and full stop. And in the assignment table, we ensure that both assign date and due date are following the date format, which is year, month, date. And we also enforce that the due date must never early than the assigned date as a basic logic. And next up, we have files table here. So for the files type, we check whether the file type is in this file format, which is PDF, docs, TXT, PPTX, or Excel format. So this is being fixed in our system. And here's the brief look of our insert into table values for 10 of our table. And this one, it's used, and we need to select all from each table to view all the details. So I run the SQL script now, and I will show you where all the table use. The table will be appearing in the details, and here comes to 10 of our table here. So that's all for my part, and I'll pass it to my teammates to explain more on their respective part. Thank you so much.
With me, and now I'm going to briefly explain and demonstrate the 6 SQL queries that are useful for this project. So the first query requires us to use outer join. So here I thought of let's just show each paper and its own decision status whether it is accepted or rejected. Here I want to select paper ID, title, status, and decision date. And here we use outer join, which is left join here. And as you can see from the result here, we can see each paper and its own status. And then for the next query, we want to show the summary of each paper here. So here I want to take paper ID, title, and the track name, and count how many reviews for each paper. And we also want to count the average score for each paper. And we also want to count how many reviewers review this paper. And there are 4 tables here, which is reviewer, and then reviewer, we join it with review, review join with paper, and paper we join with track. So there are 4 tables here, and this fulfills the requirement here. And we also use group by function here because we have count average function here. So from the result here, we can see paper ID and its summary here. Okay, for the next one, we want to use string matching and date matching here. So here, I want to display which author submit their paper on the deadline, which is 31 December. And the author name shall start with forward letter here. So we use where and like function here, and as well as the wildcard here, A%. This means we want to take A, the author that starts with A letter. It's different when the percentage is in front of A. This means that we want to take author that the last letter of the name is A. So it's different. And as we can see on the result here, there are only 2 authors here that starts with forward letter and submit their assignment on the deadline. Okay, next, for the fourth query, require us to use or and and function at the same time. So here I want to display which reviewer give review above 8 plus the recommendation is accept and the score below 4 and the recommendation is reject here. So here I use where and or function here and and. And as we can see from the result here, there are no reviewer that give the score between 4 to 8 here because we filtered it already using the or and function here. Okay, for the next query here require us to use subquery here. So we use 2 subqueries here, and here I want to display paper that receive the score, the average score lower than the global average score from all paper. So here I want to display paper ID, paper title, and its average score here. And here I use, this is the main query here. From this is the main query, and then for the first subquery here is this. For the first subquery, we just want to filter which paper is below the global average score. And this is our second subquery here. We want to count average score from each paper here. So as we can see on the result, we can see these 3 papers receive score below average here. And then we also use group by function. Do not forget this because we have average function here. Okay, so for the last query here, it requires us to show which reviewer that gives scores above the global average here. So here we use where function here, where the score for each paper is bigger than the global average score from review table. And we also use and function here because we don't forget to take the reviewer's data too here. And we also filter which reviewer gives the score above average by using having function here. And having average score is above the global average score from review. So as we can see from the result here, there are only 5 reviewers that give score above the average here. Okay, so that's it for our demonstration and explanation here. I hope from my explanation, you guys can understand more about our theory here. Thank you.
So, in conclusion, our team successfully designed and implemented a comprehensive conference paper submission system that fulfills all identified business requirements. We developed 10 fully normalized tables with a total of 57 constraints, ensuring a robust and well-structured database design. All 8 major business rules have been accurately implemented, and data integrity is maintained through strong constraint enforcement that prevent anomalies. Furthermore, the database includes realistic data that closely reflect actual conference workflow. Here comes to the end of our presentation. Thank you for your attention.